Hello everyone, welcome to my 2023 bullet journal setup. Before anything else, I would like to show you the notebook that I will use this year. This is the 160 GSM dot grid white pages alum notebook from Calligraphy Source, which is a local brand. This is sent from their anniversary series, which has a light tan velvety fabric cover with a hat stamp gold foil sunflower design. This is actually my second dotted notebook from the shop because I also got my 2022 notebook from them, and this is very affordable and worth it for its price. If you're interested or wanted to get your own, I will link their shop below. This is not sponsored, but I really love their notebooks, and this is my way of supporting our local shops and businesses. Now let's begin. First of all, happy New Year to you. How's your holiday? For me, we spent our Christmas at my aunt's house in Tarlac with my family. We got some games, and speaking of which, I hosted our bingo game this year. It was so much fun. Everyone was excited to win prizes, and it was great to be able to give gifts to my families and friends. So, I'm so excited to start this year because there's something about New Year's that gives me the feeling of hope, enthusiasm, and joy. How about you? What are you excited about this year? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to read your goals for 2023, and maybe we can all look back next year and see if we achieve what we wanted, no matter how big or small it is. Going back to our setup, as you can see here, I stamped my name using these letter blocks, which I DIY years back using erasers. So I decided to put a sunflower in the middle just below where I stamped my name. It was a last minute idea since I initially do not have any plans on this page aside from writing my name. But I wanted to spice things up this time since my previous one is very plain and nothing much going on. Here I rip out a piece of brown craft paper to give it a little bit of contrast. Then I use a black pen to go over the sketch and also added more details. By the way, if you're interested or curious about the materials I use, I will try and link all of them in the description box below. Moving on, let's make our key items. I used a cursive calligraphy-like font that went from one side of the page to the other, and pretty much the font I use for the rest of the setup as well. I have keys for task, completed, in progress, migrated, scheduled, and cancel tasks and notes. After writing those, I used a light brown pen to place shadows on the title. This portion is very simple and straightforward and very much for future reference. Now we move on to my grid spacing guideline. I got this from Amanda Rach Lee. I followed her guidelines and made some changes based on my preference. This might change again in the future depending on my usage and convenience. Anyway, this is very straightforward. I use this guideline to divide my pages. It could be when I divide it in half or when I dividing my weekly setups into fourths or thirds. And I also use this for alignment. If you want to know more in detail, you can watch Amanda's video regarding this because I think she can explain it better for you. As you can see here, I use a black pen to write the title with the same cursive calligraphy-like font I used earlier, and for the shadows, I use a light brown one. Then for the guidelines, I use a very light gray pen because I want to make this look neat, and with all the lines that are going on, it can be a little crowded looking when using a black pen, but of course, it still needs to be readable. That's why I went for a light color, which makes it very subtle but noticeable. Then I wrote the number of grid spaces horizontally and vertically using a black pen, and that's pretty much it for this setup. Moving on, let's start making our cover page for 2023. So for the cover page, as you can see, I spent a lot of time going over my sketch since I cannot decide what to do. Then I end up writing Hello 2023, which is slightly off the middle of the page, but that's okay. It still bothers me and surely will keep me awake at night, but I should learn to forgive myself for that slight mistake and accept things the way they are, and be a less control freak. I should also learn how to let go and accept the things which are beyond my control and to keep my mind at ease. Anyway, going back, to be consistent with the unintentional sunflower theme, I decided to loosely doodle random sunflowers at the top of the page and also at the bottom since this is looking a little empty. Now let's move on to my future log. Usually for this, I take up 2 pages to write all the months of the year. As you can see here, I'm writing the title with the same cursive calligraphy-like font and went over my sketch with a black pen. Now with a gel pen, I wrote all the days of each month from January to December. You can use stamps or stickers for this, but I don't have one, so I went for writing everything. I have my phone on the side because I don't want to mess up the dates and repeat everything. This was very tedious but a no-brainer task. My hands just hurt after. As you can see here, I used the same light brown pen and wrote the title of the month. Then I inserted a shadow on the title page using the same pen. Moving on to my 2023 goals page. As you can see here, I went over so many times on my sketch because I'm very indecisive when it comes to creating my spread. I always spend hours and hours when I'm creating a monthly setup, excluding the time I spend on editing, creating a script, and recording voiceovers. I'm still working on my style, and that's okay. I'm trying to be consistent in doing this since I love what I do and create. And as a 2023 goal, I will be focused, disciplined, and consistent on both the betterment of my craft and most importantly myself. On the topic of goals, 2022 caught me by surprise. Looking back, I know I could have done better. It was a tough year and I've seen the happiest and saddest version of myself. So for this year, instead of dwelling on the past and being filled with all my what ifs, slowly and consistently I will move towards my goal. I will remind myself that progress is not linear. I will forgive myself for all the times that I will be feeling under the weather, but I will also be pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I will be patient with my progress and I hope you do as well. Going back, I included a section for my wish list and also gift ideas for my family and friends for Christmas and or birthdays. I used a light brown pen and went over my sketch, then I used a slightly darker brown shade for shadows. After that, I used a black gel pen and loosely outlined the letters. Moving on to my last spread, which is my things to check out page. This is basically composed of the things I wanted to check out, which may be a TV or K-drama series, movies, animes, and or manhwa or manga. Another thing, as part of my 2023 goal, I'm also incorporating 1 book a month to read and finish. I want to exercise my mind and reduce my screen time. This will be part of my healing and bettering myself. If you have any suggestions on things to check out, please send me your recommendations. I would love to see all of them. By the way, as you can see here, I've discovered that it will be nice to place sparkles around the titles because it looks a little empty. That's why I went and incorporated this on every spread, which for me completed this setup. And finally, here's the final flip through of my 2023 bullet journal setup. Thank you so much for sticking through the end of the video with me, and I hope you had fun as well. If you want to support me and my journey, you can like, comment on this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to. Can't wait to see what 2023 has to offer, and let's all claim that this will be our year. Please keep safe and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!